I pretty intensely dislike having unnecessary frontier outposts. Alright, so Symbol of Unity is finished researching. So next up, damn it. I really need the Ministry of Benevolence. So the Ministry of Benevolence is an Empire-unique building that I can only build on my capital, basically. And it provides minus 15% ethics divergence to everywhere in the Empire. And speaking of which, I need to upgrade my planetary capital to an Empire Capital Complex, which is the final tier of central building. A trade deal, he wants to give me star charts. He also wants star charts. I'm alright with that. Get some of these handled real quick. And I don't really need much in the way of minerals right now, so I'm going to grab a little bit more energy credits and start terraforming this world, which I apparently have already done. Let's see if I started terraforming this one. I have not, so I'll start terraforming here. Excellent. Alright, so the Lavas Autocracy, up here in the top right, has entered a defensive pact with the United Agrarian Union, and I'm very certain that that's because of the Righteous League. They are big and kind of scary, but they're peaceful for the most part. Yeah, peaceful. Actually, I could do it faster this way. Yeah, see, peaceful. He's not peaceful, but he's a xenophile. Peaceful, xenophile. Alright, so the Righteous League may end up... I think they're going to have a hard time really pushing on other people. I think a lot of why they're so big is just that there were so many peaceful races next to each other. Now begins the asteroid sighted event. Now the asteroid is right here. On Jungle Prime, I made an alarming discovery, and a large asteroid is heading toward the planet. I happen to have something for that. And you can see it's slowly moving over. But once my ships get in range, I should be alright. And I think the spaceport will actually end up shooting at it too. Let me feed it a few more levels. It's far enough away that I think it'll actually be able to get one of those levels beforehand. I don't think the levels increase its damage though. But my fleet is in system. Yeah, I'll be fine. And there we go. You pause the game, and you can see that the Cuban Interstellar Administration is gone. I'm going to get rid of all of their civilian ships because I don't want them. Their primary fleets, I'm going to move... I'm going to just tell them to upgrade. Oh, right, I forgot to do the sector part. So, Astarte Prime, you're going to be absorbing all of this. You can see 6 out of 5 planets reduces my energy and mineral income by quite a bit. And the 6th one is down in here, in the contested space. Alright, so now that's worked out, and I'm actually above my fleet cap now, which is alright. I can work with that. And why does he Oh, that's a cruiser. I can't upgrade it because I don't have cruisers. So my scientist died. Replace him with a new one. This guy's Spark of Genius, so I'll grab him. Spark of Genius is really nice. Asteroid destroyed. Bunch of minerals, and send my fleet back home. And what next? Right. Time to colonize the planet that just finished. I'm going to build from the same system because I might as well. I think I want to place the central building there. So I'm going to send the cruiser to meet up with my main fleet, although I don't think it has the right FTL. Yeah, it's only warp drive 1. Ugh. It went ape shit with the mining lasers, the cutting lasers. They will have their second fleet join up with mine though. And so this is a faction that's really mad. This is from integrating the Theban Planetary Administration. Their populations don't really line up with my ethics. So they're fanatic individualists. So if we look here, minus 10% because of they're not allowed to migrate. Minus 5% because I'm allowing resettlement. There's no voting in this empire, and it's a collectivist regime. They're just mad, and they're gonna be mad until I convert them on the ethics. So I'm just gonna leave that faction suppressed for now. I will delete this frontier outpost though, which should stabilize my influence, although it did cost me some space. I'm actually going to have these guys... Nah, I'm going to have them wait, not in my core worlds. My core worlds are where I intend to build ships, and when a ship gets launched into space, they will join a fleet if there's one already in orbit. And so now we can see these guys, the green ones, are at war with the red ones. And the Righteous League actually started that war. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I think the peaceful guys can still declare wars to do things like stop atrocities. Let's see, the Ministry of Benevolence is still a few years out. And I'm really low on influence, so I can't do a whole lot. And now you can see the Savannah world, which used to be red, is now green because of the Theban and the Secate species. They both are okay with Savannah worlds, but I'm not going to colonize with their species, I'm going to colonize with mine, because that's how I roll. Oh, also one more thing that's nice about the traders is each one of them sells a unique strategic resource. In this case, it's the Rig and Spice gives 10% empire-wide happiness for 1,000 energy every 10 years. So, yeah, I'll take that.
Research complete.
So now, let's see. Satramine gas is another source of essentially free ethics divergence, so we'll go ahead and grab that. And we'll see how that goes. We've got the new colony here, so we'll go ahead and add it to the hotkeys down at the bottom of the screen. Let's see. Arid world. Who lives on arid? Sieben. And now you can see, because I absorbed the fleet, I also have a much stronger fleet of my own, which worked out pretty well and pushed me way up the chart. Let's see, who's weak here? And you can see here the cross swords indicate that somebody's at war, which means basically everyone that I know, except myself and my neighbors, are in one giant war down here. And I feel like the AI is going to get bored before it actually wins in any real quantity. The longer a war goes on, the more likely the AI will be to white peace. And I think that's what we're going to see, is just a big white peace down there. Previously, I was recording half-hour episodes, one at a time. I think I'm going to record this episode as an hour and then just split it in half, and we'll see. I don't think I like this as much, but we're early in the process, and early is the time to experiment. I'm going to add this sector to a starry prime. And once my borders connect in the back here, which they'll hopefully do sooner rather than later, I won't need the Astarte Prime sector. And I'll show you how you can manipulate sectors in new and interesting ways. And we'll take from here. Yeah, we'll settle that. I think this one's terraforming. Yeah. Add that system. I did see Manifest Destiny, but I think I skipped it from Ministry of Benevolence, which I need to manage my ethics divergence, because the ethics divergence is a little out of hand. Oh, actually I should be terraforming this planet. Let's see, I can buy 4,000 energy. So I think I'm going to go do that. You trade for energy credits. 4. And that means I can start terraforming this world into an alpine. And once the world is finished terraforming, I can settle it, wait for the colony to develop, and then get rid of this frontier outpost. Yeah, meeting this trade enclave was ideal. The ability to convert your resources back and forth essentially means that you eliminate waste until it gets to the point where you just have so much of everything that you don't know what to do with it anymore. Which eventually every empire can get that big, but how long it takes to get there is always a bit of a guessing game. Although now it does make everything a bit more complicated when I'm checking to see what to terraform, because not all yellow worlds are actually good. But it just means that I wait until I have about 5,000 before I start looking at terraforming places. It's easy enough. And soon I'll be able to build cruisers, and then I can refit the cruiser I inherited. Yeah, I don't think I was prioritizing the larger ship classes nearly enough this time around. Yeah, 1.62 per month. That is a ton of influence to suppress this faction. And the really messed up part is because of my ethics, because I'm collectivist, I'm actually paying less than you would normally. So that this faction would be 1.8 per month to suppress. And that is a ton. But it will get less expensive both as my empire grows
System service.
and as once I get the Ministry of Benevolence up and running and populations begin to convert. Uh, Additionally, once I get some actual positive influence, crashed scoutcraft. Right, because I sent him to go do a project, or to go survey an anomaly. Hold on, did I miss something? Yeah, I don't even know. But I'm at 5 of 6 of the Erasian artifacts, and the precursor chains typically result in you getting knowledge of the location of their homeworld, which is pretty neat. It's usually an interesting location, but sometimes it's kind of underwhelming, and it becomes readily apparent why the species is gone and no longer relevant. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it is neat. Okay, and you can see even the raw one, I only need 3750 now because I forgot I now have the terraforming gases, and the terraforming gases reduce the cost by 25%. Let's see. Yeah, I won't say it. There's also terraforming liquids that will reduce the terraform cost by another 25% additive. And that's the only actual way to afford terraforming the Gaia worlds. Otherwise, a Gaia world costs more than you can store energy. Which kind of makes sense. Needing to have all of the resources in order to make a planet perfect. But I do have enough to terraform this now. So we'll get this moving to an alpine world. And you can start to see just how much atmospheric manipulation
System service.
will accelerate my overall growth. Being able to turn all the red worlds into useful worlds is an immense advantage. And might as well. 15% is about as good as it's going to get. I can actually get it lower, but it would require access to some things that I don't have right now. Namely a curator enclave. And because I shared star charts with those guys,
Colony established.
I've got a lot of extra awareness of the area around me. I forgot to build spaceports. And I actually forgot to assign this one a hotkey. Oh wow, I didn't even build a science lab there either. Man, I was doing a bang-up job here. Let's get some more science going. Completely forgot about that. Alright. I end up kind of developing my worlds in chunks where I'll just go through and build and upgrade on every tile and then come back to it later when I notice that it's not building anything. And as I will repeatedly claim, I'm not perfect. I will miss things from time to time. I don't even know what this anomaly is all about. Oh, signs of precursor activity. I bet that's what that one thing was, and the 15% failed. But that would be my final precursor anomaly, which would show me where their homeworld was. The downside to that being that as soon as it reveals the homeworld for me, everyone knows about it. And so it's kind of a roll of the dice whether or not it's even in your space. And given how small I am, I don't think I have very good odds of actually having the precursor homeworld. Scientist leveled up? Oh, he must be one of the research scientists. SDG finished. There we go. Some more energy. React finished. So we're going to physics lab it up. My physics is my lowest of my research categories, so I kind of want to push that up. All three of the categories are very important, and for different reasons. Which I think is probably one of the more impressive parts of the game, is that every category is useful. A lot of games you find you can ignore certain things entirely. Even at a certain point you can just ignore them. But in Stellaris they're kind of all important throughout the whole game.
Situation log updated.
Right. Situation log updated. Let me pause this real quick. Where is this? Alright. So we'll send a scientist, the other assisting scientist over there to do a little research.
Research complete.
Spaceport's done, so we will upgrade it and queue up a solar panel. And I'm sitting on research, but if I don't actually pick a research, it just contributes to
Updated.
my stored research, which will then get cashed in. You still end up losing a little bit, but not a ton. And here, one of my planets actually has Xeno pets. And so I think what I want to do is do the Xeno Zoo so that I can get the happiness bonus. That'll probably pop up later though. I think I'll go with the cheap technology and get the army upgrades. This quest chain is very neat. The alien specimen procurement.
Situation
What it does
updated.
is it creates 7 special research projects in the area roughly near you, and you get bonuses for completing each of them. So now you can see all of the animated systems. They're all in my space or my friend's space, so as soon as my research assisting scientists are done, I'm going to go ahead and have them get to work on those. Hasn't finished its build queue. Well, we'll get more building going on. Alright, so now I have the planetary capital. It's time to start developing this planet in earnest.
Construction complete.
I'll probably need hydroponic farms on both of these, just to get them out of the way.
Special project complete.
Okay. So I got some extra research from the flora. And now what I'm gonna do is, still holding shift click, you can start to really see how it draws a circle and how they'll head back. Easily one of my favorite hotkeys.
System survey complete.
Alright, so the second slot is going to be a hydroponic farm. Where are we at?
Special project.
Okay, we are well underway on the cruiser research. So I finished the final Erassian artifact, which gives some engineering research, and so after intense study of our recovered Erassian artifacts, scientists have deduced the exact coordinates of their home system of Eras.
Situation log updated.
So I should go check it out, it says. We'll start tracking it.
Receipt complete.
So we finished the cruiser research. So now I want the mining plant. Yeah, I don't give a shit about the other ones I've got partial progress on. But we can go through our spaceports, and I forgot to upgrade them to level 4 apparently. But that's alright, I have industry.
Complete.
And that's going to throw our fleet cap through the roof too. Scientist leveled up and gained a trait. So I'm just going to look for their system here. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Long-term exposure to the pollen occurring on Orochi Secundus' atmosphere acts on the colonist's pheromone receptors with a mild aphrodisiac, accompanied by a barely perceptible high. It produces the most potent strain as a flower common to all areas of the planet, swirled away into some obscure taxonomic nook. Oh man. Yeah, let's keep on the plant drugs. That'll be fine. There's no way that's gonna go awry. But we have the precursor homeworld in our space. And not just in our space, but in our original body of space, not even the stuff that we took from someone. God, I swear that never happens to me. It'll probably be a crap homeworld. And we finished researching satramine gas. So we pick our next thing,
System survey complete.
which I want to be the plasma thrower. No, I'm not going to be using the plasmas for a bit. I'll get AI-controlled colony ships. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, and we check up on the resources. We have 2 satramine gas. Fantastic. One of them is kind of close to his border, and one of them is in a system with a frontier outpost. So we are good on that. Now the satramine gas gives minus 10% ethics divergence, so even though these people were at 2% before, they are now at minus 7.6. And it's going to go even farther once I get the Ministry of Benevolence, which I have and just forgot to build. Our army upgrade finished, so let's get the tile blocker, I think. Got the first specimen collected, and we are going to build our Ministry of Benevolence on a homeworld. Found some pre-space age civilizations. And how is this terraforming project coming along? Almost done. Excellent.
Construction
And this one?
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Even more almost done.
Construction complete.
Oh, right. So I'm going to go ahead and design a cruiser, and then I'm actually going to let the clock tick to the beginning of the year. I don't like the default design at all. I'm a big fan of the broadside cruiser, and I'm at a new race. I don't really care. Well, let me see where they are. Yeah, they're tucked away in a corner. And I'm going to slow the game down. Pause it on the first. So now I'm going to design a cruiser real quick. Let's see what I got for stuff. Alright. So I'm gonna throw coil guns on here. Coil guns are probably the best weapon I have. I really have been neglecting that apparently. But I've got the cold fusion reactors. We can see the large cold fusion reactor generates 80, so at least 2 slots have to become reactors. So put a large and a medium. And then the rest of the slots, let's see how much armor I can get on it. 73%. It's not great, but it is the best I've got right now, and that does dramatically increase its effective health. Follow my usual naming scheme. Delete the default design, because the one I came out with was not great. And we will update that cruiser. And before I go, we will build a few of our own. And I think that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.